So good morning, welcome back to Beaucaire. I think this is day 33. And I'm just trying to make my way out of this little rabbit warren of a town, which is very pretty in a French sort of way. Ooh. This is all good fun. So I stayed in an apartment in a building very similar to these yesterday. Very nice it was too. Shame it wasn't for longer, but we've got places to be, so we're making our way out of the town today, and I'll tell you more about that when we get out of town. Wow, this is busy. I'm going to put the camera away. Well, that was an interesting start to the morning. Busy traffic, and I missed my junction twice. But at least I got to see a little bit more of Beaucaire. I got to see the marina and the port. I wouldn't have seen that if I'd have come straight out of the town the way I was supposed to, so not always a loss, is it? That's a nice view in the morning, isn't it? I wonder what they make in there. I suspect it's a cement factory. Anyway, we're out of town now. As you can see, we're riding along a canal this morning. So this is day 33, and what news do I have? Well, the sad news is, in 2 days' time I'll be suspending the tour. I say suspending because it's not ending. I very much hope to come back later in the year and continue, but the heat has done for me, I'm afraid. It's crazy me trying to continue in the sort of heat that I've had this last week. It's not doing my health any good, as I've mentioned before, and it certainly isn't enjoyable. So the plan is to ride for 2 more days to a place called Sète, just past Montpellier on the French south coast. Whilst I'm there, I'll have a couple of days rest whilst I wait for a ferry that will leave Sète and take me to Tangier in Morocco. Oh, just watch out for traffic. So as in keeping with the rest of this tour, there's no plan as to where or when I will resume the tour, but I will. And all I can ask is that you keep an eye out on YouTube, and you'll see me when you see me. So today we're doing about 36 miles towards the French coast with the Mediterranean. We'll be stopping about probably not even that, probably about 2 miles short of seeing the Mediterranean. But we'll catch up with that tomorrow, I'm sure. But once again, I'm heading for a hotel so that I can use their air conditioning this evening. It's supposed to get to, I think, 35 degrees Celsius today, and I shall be happy if all the riding is as easy as what this is along this canal. This is lovely. The wind is almost behind me. It's trying to make its mind up. It's hitting me on my right hand side and then occasionally swapping around and giving me a little push. Can't quite make up its mind which way it wants to blow. But rather that than a headwind, because it's quite strong. So we're well and truly in the Rhone Delta now, aren't we? The Rhone kind of splits up into lots of different channels and canals. Man over the years has put his footprint all over the Rhone and diverted it to where he needs it to be. This area is just crisscrossed with marshland and, as I say, channels and canals. I don't know what this one's called. I shall have to find out and put it on the screen. Okay, I have no idea what's ahead of me up here. Obviously the path continues, but the following ride-by shot is dedicated to Ashton. So the first thing I'm going to do is find a decent place to put the camera down and point the camera back the other way. Oh, this post looks pretty good. Trike's blowing away without me. It's so windy. Right, I'm going to leave the camera there. Right, that's the first part done. Now I have to turn the camera the other way and ride past it in the other direction. Line it up roughly, just like that. And then when I come to edit it later, hopefully I have two pieces of footage that I can use that makes it look like I'm riding straight past. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And if I've got it right, it'll look like this. Oh, look at me giving away the tricks of the trade. Anyway, hello to Ashton. I hope you're enjoying the videos. It's nice to know that some of the younger ones are watching and enjoying. Hopefully one day they can get out there and do like I'm doing. Whilst I'm talking about inspiration, it's always lovely to read in the comments how people are apparently inspired by what I'm doing here. If anybody is out there doing a tour or thinking about a tour because I've inspired them, please do let me know in the comments or by email. Be really good to hear, and for others to hear as well. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be a multi-week tour like what I'm doing myself. It doesn't have to be anything like that at all. It can be just getting on the trike for a day and going out and doing a few miles. I've mentioned to others before, it doesn't have to be anything grand. It really doesn't. If you're at home and you've got 2 days to spare, book a hotel for a night, 10-15 miles away from where you live, and ride to it. Have a comfortable bed overnight. The next day, ride a different route home. Voila, you've done your tour. And if you enjoy it, expand on it from there. Yeah, I really do hope that I inspire a few of you to get out there and do something. Anything at all. From a few miles to a few days, whatever you feel like you can do. because this is grand. This is wonderful. Just to be outside enjoying it. Right, should we try and get the drone out? It's a bit windy, it might not like it, but we'll see. Well, I think it's safe to say that the drone didn't enjoy that. One minute it's fast, then it's slow, then it stops, then it's up and down. It's all over the place. Quite clever that it still keeps the picture steady though. But the body of the drone was, yeah, it was all over. Right, let's get back to it. Don't know whether the camera picks this up, but there's been a tractor down here and he's made it very like rotted, and it makes everything just like being on cobbles. Thank goodness for suspension, eh? Well, I seem to have been on this road for hours now. As you can see, it's not a very busy road. I think a car passes me about once every 5-10 minutes. But it is a road nevertheless, so I have to be aware of my surroundings at all times. But when it comes to sunshine, I'm also on the wrong side of the road. I haven't had any shade now for just as long. It's quite hard and quite harsh. to constantly have the sun beating down on you. Hopefully we'll change direction soon. I think there's a junction coming up in another couple of miles. We'll turn off to the right. Hopefully that might afford us a little bit of shade. Thank goodness for the wind. At least that's giving me a nice breeze. Here comes another car. Well, I turned that corner and you can see how much shade there is. Oh well, we just keep going. Oh dear. So this is the Eurovelo 8. And this continues down into Spain, down the east coast of Spain. It's very broken though, it's not one continuous route according to the maps. I don't think the Spanish are into their long distance cycling. Given the heat that they have there for most of the year, I can hardly blame them. Here comes another car. Oh, it's getting positively busy. 2 cars. It's almost gridlock. Right, I had a little rest in the shade. Time to do that last few miles. I think I've got 7 miles to go. It's very nice to get out of that hot beating sun for a little while, I've got to say. So this is the same canal that we set off on this morning. Shame the path didn't go all the way along the side of it. I've no idea why it didn't, but Nice to be back on it now though. So my hotel this evening is in a little place called Aigues-Mortes. And apparently it's got a swimming pool. So I'm looking forward to that. As always, I don't suppose you'll get much from me once I get into the hotel. I don't know what it is, I have like a mental block when I get into a hotel. Unlike when I'm in the tent, we can do the tent talk. When I get into a hotel, I just seem to crash out. Or there's a swimming pool or something else to do. It's no good me showing you these super posh hotels that I go in anyhow. You'll only get jealous. Right, if I remember, I'll bring you back before I get to the hotel. Oh. Well, that made my legs burn. Oh. Hopefully that's the last little lump that we have to climb today. We've not got far to go now. It's amazing how much the climate has changed this week, isn't it? Just looking at these trees, and they look like they've almost been shaped like that, don't they? Like somebody's got out some big hedge cutters and trimmed them all on the top. some sort of fir tree. They smell quite nice in the sun. All the pine needles are smelly. Nearly there. I shall be glad to arrive. I just had my last little bit of water out of the bottle. As you can imagine, at this time of the day, it's hot water, and it tastes of the plastic bottle as well. Pretty disgusting, but at least it's wet. Right, I can see a town up ahead. I'm hoping that's Aigues-Mortes, or however you pronounce it. That'll be the supermarket I'll be shopping in a little while then, because my hotel is just over there.